421 dispatch?
Go ahead, 421.
Put me out at the fuel stop on 15th on a break.
Copy, 421. Enjoy your snack.
Copy that. It's a little late for Halloween, isn't it?
Police, sir! I need you to turn around. .421. Shots fired behind the fuel stop on 15th. Suspect down. Send EMS and backup.
All units. Shots fired. Officer needs assistance. Location is the alley behind the fuel stop at 417 15th Street. Suspect is down. I repeat, suspect is down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Another rough night?
Oh, not really. I just couldn't calm my mind.
What's this?
Oh, this is the day I got my peace officer certificate. I was straight out of the police academy. Thought I was going to help so many people. Seems like that's a totally different person, different life.
You finally decide to put all these up?
No, I'm just unpacking boxes.
Babe, we've been here for 15 months. And now unpacking is at the top of your to-do list.
I was awake.
And hopped up on an entire pot of coffee.
I left you a cup.
One whole cup?
Whole cup. Whole cup. Yeah.
Well, I hope I don't get jittery.
I'm sorry. Just...
You're exhausted. And basically living off of coffee and soda.
Whatever gets you through, right? We just moved. There have been a lot of changes. We're always visiting congregation members, delivering grief groceries, visiting people in the hospital, or actively at the church. And don't get me wrong, your new church is great. The people have been so welcoming, and Eden Village is nice. I just feel like I'm always playing catch up. And my circadian rhythms are just off a little. And I feel like I'm constantly running with like 40 tabs open in my brain.
I get it. I get it. And it's probably really difficult to do all that whenever you're not getting any sleep.
I'm sorry. Did I wake you up?
Jules, you cry out in your sleep. Your whole body is as tight as a bow, even when you are asleep. How can that not wake me? Your circadian rhythm has nothing to do with this. You're having nightmares almost every single night. Your brain can't get itself together because you have to let it shut down. But you won't let it. You won't stop. You won't process. You won't let yourself heal. And I'm worried about you.
I'm fine.
You're not. Jules, you are not fine. You've been saying that for the past year and a half, and it's not true. You're not sleeping. You're short-tempered. You almost took my head off last week whenever I didn't fill the ice tray. Jules, we have an ice maker in the fridge. You won't talk to me. You won't talk to anyone. I was really hoping the change of scenery would help you heal, but you seem distressed as ever.
I'm fine. It's not hard to fill up an ice tray.
Ice maker. Also, not the issue. You're deflecting.
What do you want from me?
I want you to talk to me. To someone, Jules. Have you prayed about it?
I'm sure God's not interested in chatting up a murderer.
Jules. Babe, I wasn't...
I shot a 14-year-old. I shot a 14-year-old. Jesse Carter. I shot him in the chest, Aaron. I did that. I sat there and I watched him die. I can't think of a more clear definition of the word murderer than that. And if you're confused, just go look at the articles written about your bloodthirsty wife, the abuse of power, the police brutality, or even the Facebook page. Citizens for the removal of Officer Juliana Lucas. A little wordy in my opinion. But it certainly makes the point clear. And also, I was a deputy, but nobody's really all that interested in facts these days, so maybe you should just give them a like or a follow, yeah? Cool. I need to get ready for work.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this morning. I don't mean to take things out on you, I really don't. It's like
having an out-of-body experience, and I can hear myself saying these awful things and yelling, and I have no control over what's coming out of my mouth or what my body's doing.
You're forgiven. Hey, you are forgiven. Speaking of being extremely busy lately, you do remember we're having that barbecue at our place tomorrow, right?
Was it on the calendar?
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Daniel Justice is coming to speak at the church on Sunday, and you said you were going to try to make your baklava again?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the SWAT guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah. It's fine. I will go to the market after my shift and get the stuff for baklava. I'll make it tonight so that it's properly gooey for tomorrow.
Okay.
Wait, what was wrong with my last baklava?
Honey, you don't have to make anything. I know baklava is kind of hard to get right. Besides, all the church ladies are going to end up bringing about 60 different dessert trays, so you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You will think about what I said, right?
Yes, sir. Pastor Aaron, sir. Baklava ingredients will be procured. Love you.
I love you too. Be safe.
Hey, Lucas, Chief needs to see you in his office.
Wanted to see me?
Hey, Lucas, yeah, have a seat.
Am I in trouble here?
No, of course not. Unless you've been doing something I don't know about.
No, sir.
So, you've been with us for what, 2 years now?
A year and a half.
Are you happy here?
Of course. Why?
You're a solid worker. You're smart, motivated, you don't cause trouble, you never miss a day. You're a good cop. I respect your work ethic, and I was wondering if maybe you'd be interested in making some changes. There's a few other units that could really use your kind of help.
Thank you. Thank you. I hadn't really thought about it. I feel like I'm doing good work, helping people.
Well, you are, but anybody can drop off blankets and water bottles. Aren't you ready to get back to the real policing? I mean, your record is outstanding. You have excellent training. I mean, you could easily climb the ranks here.
I had always thought that I'd end up as a detective after I finished on patrol. But I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be right now.
Look, I know all about that messy business that you left. And that was a clean shoot. But that kid was armed.
Jesse.
What's that?
His name was Jesse.
Yeah, well, I know it was rough. But you're being wasted working outreach. Yes, it's an important job, but anybody can do that. You'd be a good detective. You could take the sergeant's exam. You'd kill it. And that promotion comes with a nice raise and a posh office like mine. Look, all I'm saying is you could do so much more.
Could I think about it?
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, listen, while I'm here, I found this flyer this morning. I know this girl. She stays at the camp that Mom Ruth Franklin runs. And I've noticed in the past year and a half all these faces coming and going. And I didn't think anything about it because the homeless population can be pretty transient. But this girl, she has no reason to be leaving. Her mom's still actively in her life. She has this whole group of people that are looking out for her. I just don't think she left. And Ruth has even mentioned the oddity of how often young people are moving along. And I'm thinking that maybe there's something more going on.
Look, I hate it as much as you do, Lucas. But like you said, these people move around a lot. Hey, this kid probably just ran off. She might be with a boyfriend or looking for a better situation or something.
No, sir, she's 12. And she's well adjusted. Her mom just fell on hard times. I know this girl. She's a good kid.
I didn't say she wasn't. But being a good kid doesn't mean she's not out looking for a better situation. Look, trust me. Mine's 13. And I'm telling you, tween girls, they're scarier than a bar brawl. Where do you think all this came from? Anyway, I guess you better get back to work. But please let me know if you change your mind about that switch up, okay?
Yes, sir.
And Lucas, put your vest on.
Yes, sir. Gross. You guys are slobs.
That is exactly how I prefer my marshmallows charred. But do make sure to cool that before you eat it.
They keep falling off my stick. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay though. I have reinforcements for you right here.
Sit down, please. Melt marshmallows with me.
How do you do it?
Do what exactly?
You walk into churches every day. They're filled with people. I can't even walk into a room with a handful of people and act like a normal person. Last week I went to Bible study. And Loretta, you met her earlier, 86-year-old, tiny, adorable little lady. She reached for a purse. My hand shot to where my weapon is supposed to be. And my brain is screaming at me. She's going for a weapon, and then just the fact that I had reached for my weapon had me running for the hills. I ditched Bible study and had a complete meltdown over a little old lady digging for her reading glasses. And don't get me started about suiting up for work. Just putting on my duty belt gives me panic attacks, and I am sorry. I should not be dumping this all on you. I know your plate's full.
Lucas, this is what I do. Your husband told me about the shooting. I read up on it too.
Yay me. Ungoogleable.
Look, you've already figured out that he brought me here because of you. He's worried about you. He doesn't know how to relate to you. But he thinks that somehow I can.
He wants to fix me. He can't.
True. But
Let me guess. God can?
I was going to say, no, only you can. You have to do the work, because God's got the tools. He's got the whole toolbox, frankly. You know my resume. You know I was SWAT. You know I have a testimony. I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
A little preview of tomorrow's talk. It's about 3 in the morning when we got called out. I was upset because I had a lot to do the next day. And now I was going to have to do it with very little sleep. You can relate. We got to the scene and it was a meth house. The cook, he was sampling the goods, so he wasn't thinking straight. And he had his daughter with him. Young. He'd been cooking that stuff in the house with his daughter inside the house. So, things turned when he put a gun to her head. His own child. We negotiated with him for hours, and then the call came that we had to go in. An appointment. So I go through the door first. He shot her. He shot his own daughter. I'm sorry. And then he shot himself. 2 blasts so loud, I couldn't even think. I just stood there, stared. My mind couldn't process what was in front of me. How I couldn't stop it. How Just a few hours earlier, I was being selfish, not wanting to get out of bed, and here was this little kid. Lifeless. The more I tried to fight it, the angrier I got. I was so mad at myself for not being able to stop something that intellectually I knew I could have never stopped. But trauma doesn't mix with reason, Lucas. You know what I mean? I started having trouble at work. The mandated counsel. Yeah. It was like having someone that had no concept whatsoever of what I had been through, telling me how to feel. I got written up at work plenty of times for being too aggressive, they said. I stopped going to church. People there had good intentions, they really did. But they just didn't get it. You know? I started drinking. I thought drinking can help me sleep. But sleep brought nightmares. The nightmares fueled the rage. And finally, one night, I got into a fight with my wife, and I put my fist through a wall. Lucas, I have never done that before. Ever. She left me that night. Just got tired of it. I got forced into early retirement because I couldn't get my act together. I then hit bottom. Bottom fell on top of it. You understand? That night I got on my knees, and for the first time in a year, I cried out to God. Not really expecting that He would answer. I've been struggling alone for so long. Why would He answer me now? Why would He love me after everything? My cry that night was ugly and desperate. But God answered. The very next day, I get into a fender bender with my old pastor.
You're kidding me.
Seriously. He gets out of the car. He sees that it's me. He starts laughing. He comes and he hugs me, and he says, I've been laid on his heart for days. So we go get coffee and we talk, and everything poured out. I didn't hold back. So he set me up with a therapist. Those sessions taught me skills that made it easier for me to cope. See, the problem wasn't the church or work or even my wife. The problem was me. I needed help. But I had to accept the help. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was easy. It wasn't. It was hard. But I can tell you this. With the help of my faith and my church family and the therapy, I've been able to figure out what I'm supposed to do with my life. My mission, my purpose is to help people who are struggling with PTSD. I think they call it PTSI these days, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't change what it was. What it is, because it's still a battle every single day. But I've got help, and so do you. You just have to accept it. Because I know in my heart, deep in my heart, that God loves me. It's a matter of faith. I know it. And he loves you too. But I think you already know that. You're running from the trauma, not your faith.
You didn't shoot that little girl. I killed that kid. I pulled the trigger. I did that. I killed him. I killed him. I keep playing it over and over and over in my head, and it's like I'm watching a movie, and I can't change the end of the scene. And I keep seeing his face in crowds, on street corners, looking at me, accusing me. He haunts me. Thou shalt not kill. Super simple commandment. You'd think you could easily go a whole lifetime without meeting someone who would take another life. Somebody that would break such a simple covenant. But here I am. Killer. He was 14. Did you know that?
Yes.
How could God forgive something so wrong?
Was he armed?
Yes, he had a gun.
Did he draw on you?
Yes.
Then you didn't have a choice. He took your choices.
There's so many different choices that I could have made that night.
Did you violate policy? Did you break the law?
No, but I didn't have to confront him.
What if he had killed the clerk at the next store that he robbed?
We don't know he would have done that. He was just a bored kid acting out because his dad was gone. I might have stalked his Instagram a little. Yeah, I know. And it's so stupid and not healthy. But I did it anyway. And I just kept seeing all these images of this smiling, happy kid goofing off with his friends, with his mom. There won't be any more photos or smiles or moments with his mom. Because of me. I live every shift in this bone deep fear that I'll have to use my weapon again, and I don't know, even if it came down to it, if I would have the courage to fire on another human being again, even if my life depended on it.
Because you can't change his choices. And you can't change yours, not the ones from the past anyways. Look, I've always been told that if you want to know what your destiny is, you look back and you see what God has trained you for. You've been training your whole life to serve and protect. What you can't change is the choices you're making now. But you gotta ask for help. Look, post-traumatic stress is like an overstuffed suitcase. You keep cramming things into it and they keep popping out. Lucas, you have to unpack.
I don't even know where to start.
Start at the beginning.
I still don't understand how you got through it. I mean, I hear you. I understand your story. I get that. I just can't see my way to the other side.
I'll let you know when I get there.
It's very heartening. Thank you.
It's the truth. And here's more truth. God loves you. That was a done deal before you were even born. You will always be loved. By God, by your husband, by your church family. It just takes a little bit of faith. Like we always say, a mustard seed's worth. In the meantime, you got me, you got Aaron, you have God on your side. We all have your back. I've given up on this marshmallow thing. So I'm gonna go see if there's any more of those ribs left. I want you to have this. Think of what I said.
So sorry, kiddo. I really failed you on this one, didn't I?